What's up, guys? So today we're taking a sneak peek at a character that popped up in the data mines about a week ago, Howard the Duck. Now, he looks like he's going to absolutely crush. I'm really excited to see what he can do. However, there are a couple of questionable ability descriptions. This is common from Foxneck, so we'll have to wait and see exactly how he plays. But if his passive works a certain way, he's going to easily be a god tier character, at least from what I can see. So let's get into it. So his kit is already up on msf.gg, so we'll start with his tags. So he's listed as Cosmic, Blaster, Bio, Guardian, Martial Artist, and Hero. So the Hero is kind of a no-brainer. Martial Artist makes sense because he's a master of Quack Fu. Bio is questionable. He definitely could have been Mystic, but it makes sense. It's good news for anyone who's been powering up a Defenders team. They'll already have the right start tech for him. Blaster is interesting. It seems from his kit that he only has one ability that actually involves blasting a weapon, but Thor is a blaster, so I guess they just use blaster to refer to characters who deal a lot of damage, and he certainly deals a lot of damage, so that makes sense. Cosmic also makes sense since he's appeared in several Cosmic storylines. His only appearances in the MCU have been in the two Guardians of the Galaxy films, and so I guess that also makes the Guardian tag make sense. I mean, honestly, I have not read many Howard the Duck comics, so I don't know about his lore much. I Googled him just before this video, but anyway, someone sent me a comic cover that shows he's at least sometimes affiliated with the Guardians, so I don't know. But anyway, he's got the Guardian tag, and so it's going to make for some really interesting synergies. So let's look at his stats. So for 7-star, 7 red star, gear tier 12, level 70, msf.gg has him listed 92,323 health. That's definitely on the low side, so he's going to be really, really squishy, which is really the only thing that makes this kit kind of make sense. His damage is 17,401, which is absolutely insane. He has the third highest base damage behind Punisher and Rocket in the entire game. So he's going to hit really hard, and it's made even more insane by his kit, which we'll get to in a sec. So his armor is 4,863, so it's above average armor, but with a really low health pool, it's not going to be anywhere near enough to save him. If you try to focus him out, like Captain Marvel with her ult can just one-shot him, assuming that she's also 7 red star. So, you know, he's not unkillable. We'll leave it at that. Very glass cannon. His focus and resistance are pretty standard, and his speed is 102, but keep in mind that because he's a Guardian, if you run him with Star-Lord, he'll get the Guardian synergy, and he'll actually be about 122 speed, so about the same speed as Rocket, so he'll go pretty early on. Alright, let's talk about his kit because it's pretty insane. So his basic is Quack Fu. At rank 7 it deals 340% damage, and if the target is stunned, he bonus attacks for another 340% damage. So that is 680% damage against a stunned target, which is insane for his damage stat. However, he doesn't actually have a way to apply stun, so he's reliant on another character to apply stun. So you're looking at Shield Security, Black Widow, Wasp, Mordo, Spider-Man, Storm, and Thor. But there is one more, and that is fellow Guardian Mantis, who can stun with her basic on turn 1. So she can set him up. He'll go before her, but she can set him up to basically basic on turn 2 and get that double tap rather. And then at the end, you can see if it kills someone, he gets offense up for 2 turns, which is ridiculous because he already does so much damage. So they're just piling on the offense. His counter assist is obviously attached to his basic. It's pretty standard. It's above average. It's hard hitting, but it doesn't have any ability effects or anything. His special, Anti-Zombie Artillery, attacks primary target and adjacent targets for 400% damage. So it's a cone attack. It's like a Quake basic or a Rocket basic. Now, again, on kill, grant 2 to 3 ability energy to random adjacent allies and apply Disrupted to all enemies. So the ability energy is going to be amazing, especially on a Guardian team where they have really strong specials, and the Disrupted is incredibly powerful. It'll depend on people's turn meters when, how long it disrupts them for when he gets the kill, but it can counter the defenders very effectively. If you run him with like a Rocket and you get someone low, and then he can use his special on turn 1. If he gets that kill, he can put the Disrupted on the rest of the team, and they'll have above average resistance because of JJ, but anyone that Disrupted gets on is not going to get that defense up from Luke Cage's first turn, so that's really useful. And the fact that he can do this every 3rd turn is totally nuts, and you can feed him energy having him next to Star-Lord, so you can use that ability a lot. So in short, you're going to want to kill him pretty immediately, otherwise he's a huge damage threat. Moving on, his ultimate, Feather Flurry, attacks all enemies for 350% damage. On kill, attack all enemies for 250% damage. So if this AoE gets a kill, it ends up doing 600% damage. So the short version is, do not play any summoning characters into Howard the Duck, or he will just absolutely massacre them. And if you manage to set up letting a 600% damage ult loose when he has offense up from getting a kill on the basic, and the Star-Lord passive damage, it's just going to absolutely annihilate. So I think he's been designed as the ultimate glass cannon. But yeah, I mean, he just looks absolutely ferocious. Finally, his passive, Iron Duck. So on spawn, gain immunity. So that helps. It doesn't really add to his survivability, but it definitely helps in terms of, like, he's not going to get blinded or he's not going to get offense downed or anything before he takes his first turn. But one of the things I worry about is, like, a Fury Shield team. Not only can a Fury Shield team, like, light him up before he gets a turn, but they can steal that immunity with a Shield Operative, and then the entire Fury Shield team is going to get immunity when Nick Fury spreads his buffs. So definitely don't run him. Well, if you're running a Fury Shield team, you can deal with him. You're going to have to deal with him, but you can deal with him. And you'll actually, not only will you get the early kill, you'll get a nice buff for everyone, so it actually works out if you end up attacking into him. So I'm thinking he's more of an attack character. And then whenever this character gains a positive effect, gain 20% turn meter. So this is the big one right here. This is the difference between God tier and a holy crap broken character. First, does the immunity that he's going to gain on spawn count as gaining a buff? We don't know, but if it does, he'll spawn with 20% extra turn meter, and then he's, like, insanely fast. So I don't believe he'll be able to, in any situation, like, kill anyone on turn 1, so it's, you know, it's not that crazy. Like, Captain Marvel can already turn 1 kill people, but it's still pretty good. And then the bigger question is, does it add turn meter per positive effect? So when Groot dies and gives 4 buffs to Guardians, is he going to gain 20% turn meter or 80% turn meter? Because that'll make a huge difference. And if giving him, like, multi-buffs just keeps giving him turns, you can run him with, like, Kingpin, Fury, stuff like that, and just constantly be giving him turns. It'll be really, really ridiculous. And the immunity on spawn is a nice touch because he won't be able to be blinded by an enemy Magneto. So that's pretty good. He gets to level some offense right away. But all in all, I'm really excited for his kit because he's an absolute offensive powerhouse. So he is, however, very, very squishy. And like I said earlier, with a Shield Operative, he's basically just giving the entire Fury team an immunity buff. So I think there's a very real chance that we're looking at Howard the Duck being part of the arena offense meta, which I imagine some people will be happy about and some people not so much. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Howard the Duck character per se, but with a kit like this, I'm going to be using him. There's no news of how he'll be acquired or when he'll be released. They removed him from the data mines almost immediately, so, you know, they already told us who's coming with this patch, which is Okoye and M'Baku, so I would say that the earliest we'll see him is next patch, and who knows, like, we don't know to what degree he's work in progress, so he might be 2 patches away, I don't know, but, you know, I did want to show you guys what we saw, because they pushed some data from 3.1.1 live when they launched the 3.0 patch, which is what caused some of the issues when they launched the patch, and so they pulled all that data back, and so obviously they pulled the data that had his kit info in it back as well, but I did want to show it to you guys, and so, you know, we can kind of plan around it. So otherwise, though, that's it. So that wraps up the sneak peek at Howard the Duck's kit and his art. You can check it out for yourself over on msf.gg. Otherwise, I stream Marvel Strike Force every single day on Twitch, twitch.tv/Khasino, every single day at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Anyone is welcome to join my Discord. It's just discord.gg/Khasino. We got blitz predictions, infographics, alerts when I go live. So anyone is welcome. I hang out there and answer questions if anyone has any questions. But otherwise, let me know in the comments what you think of this awesome glass cannon character. And I will see you guys real soon. Peace!